Hey, Captain Lauren, where are we headed today?
Hi, Captain Sharon. I was actually thinking we should take these folks on a sail back in time. You know how our modern ship is a pretty accurate replica of the original,
Yeah, a replica with some serious upgrades.
including the ability to sail through history.
Right, like a tall ship time machine.
What do you say we set sail for 1638 and see what things were like when the Kalmar Nyckel first crossed the Atlantic?
Great idea, let's do it.
As we sail back almost 400 years, we're going to see a lot of things change.
And a lot of those changes happen below deck, where the modern crew lives.
There's a modern kitchen, full shower, flush toilets, a coffee station, laundry machines, dozens of bunks, and a table for eating.
And then there's the engine room, where the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems converge to bring the ship to life.
This is where the voyage back to 1638 begins to change the ship. There go the engines.
And the fuel tanks, propellers, drive shafts, even the throttles up on the quarterdeck.
Good thing we still have sails.
Except, without engines, it's going to be a lot harder to maneuver in tight spaces and dock the ship.
But we can still steer like we always do, with a helmsman and a couple of levers. What's next?
Well, there definitely wasn't electricity in the 17th century.
So we have to ditch the generators, batteries, wiring, outlets, and all the lights. How do we see?
Better break out the candles and lanterns. Guess we can't keep the modern plumbing either. No freshwater tanks, no sewage tanks.
And no flush toilets.
Just old-fashioned heads.
We'll have to get rid of our modern bilge pumps, too.
Yeah, so if we take on water, we'll have to pump by hand.
Cargo is key on voyages to the New World, and we're gonna need lots of space to carry it.
It's a good thing we're getting rid of the galley and the grand saloon.
We have to clear out these watertight bulkheads and doors, too.
We've got a lot more room down here with all the modern structures out of the way.
Which is perfect because we need to swap out the ballast. Instead of lead bars, we have to use stone for stability.
And the colonial cargo can help too.
Lots of cargo. These barrels were full of tools, supplies, trade goods, and rations.
You know, the soldiers headed for the colony will need a place to live. Let's put some decking over the cargo for them.
And the crew will have to sleep in the forecastle when they're not on duty.
Since we got rid of the galley, they'll have to cook and eat up here too.
Yep, we just have to find a spot in the forecastle for a brick fireplace.
So we're a wooden ship with a bunch of open flames?
And now we don't have any of our modern fire suppression equipment.
Yeah, all these ropes and sails, we're a floating fire hazard.
Not to mention the gunpowder for the 10 cannons.
We've got life jackets everywhere and a rescue boat, but we can't keep those if we're headed back in time.
That's a big problem since most sailors back then couldn't swim. Sailing in 1638 is dangerous.
It gets even worse when we take away our modern electronics.
Without phones, radios, or distress beacons, we can't call for help. And with no modern weather forecasting, we could be sailing right into a storm.
We also have to toss our GPS and all the modern navigation equipment.
It'll be a challenge, but we can still get around the old-fashioned way.
Thanks to our education program, we've already got 17th century navigation tools on board.
Look, Captain Sharon, it's 1638. We're here.
After all these changes, the two ships may seem very different, but their hulls and sails are almost identical.
Really, the biggest difference now is the people. Today's Kalmar Nyckel has an all-volunteer crew, and half of them are women.
But we don't have any women on board in 1638, and we have to pay the crew.
Wait, that means no women captains either.
Yikes, I guess we'll need disguises. That's better. What about our passengers? In 1638, we've got soldiers on their way to settle New Sweden.
But today, Kalmar Nyckel carries students and public passengers who come for a chance to set foot on our tall ship time machine.
That's right, different people with a different mission.
No matter who our passengers are, as long as the wind blows, we can go anywhere in the world, even all the way back to 1638.